Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the former classroom teacher turned homeschooling mom and private reading tutor behind Little Otters Learn. And here on my YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram page and my blog, I offer different homeschooling topics and tips and curriculum reviews and flip-throughs. So if you have been following me on Instagram, first, thank you. And and thank you for being here. But you'll know if you follow me on Instagram that I have a particular interest in writing and specifically solid writing curriculum. I have tested out a number of different writing programs. I use a couple in our homeschool, and I somewhat recently discovered this Just Write series, and I wanted to provide a flip through of books 1, 2, and 3. This is the full program. This is developed by EPS, which is the Educators Publishing Service. And that is the same publisher as the popular Wordly Wise series. So books 1, 2, and 3 span grades 2 through 5. They start focused at the sentence level and gradually move into the paragraph level. And book 3 is really setting those 4th and 5th graders up for middle school length and middle school quality writing, specifically the essay. The idea behind this series is that students should, at least at first, just write. It's focused on kind of a, I would say, almost joyful approach. It sort of taps into the student's natural desire to be a storyteller, and it really focuses on like the story and the narrative form of writing in the beginning. So you'll see, I'm going to come back to this in a minute, but book 1 is meant for the 2nd or 3rd grader. And you will see that the teaching portion of each lesson is really written to the student. It takes this almost like friendly or kind of easygoing tone, but it's written directly to the student. The lessons always have this like initial teaching section, and then there's an exercise for students to complete. There's ample opportunity for students to actually write throughout. And you can see that it starts in this very non-threatening way. It doesn't start with like, write a paragraph about your favorite day. It's really scaffolded very nicely, both within each book and then across the 3 books. So you can see, again, it's written to the student. You have your exercises. There's examples of that particular type of story or text. Here's like the first opportunity for the students to write at length. You could certainly serve as a scribe. We've moved into chapter 2, and I'll show you the table of contents that has this broken down, but you have that teaching portion that's really written for the student. The student is the audience, and then you have your practice and your exercises. You have multiple exercises to go with each of the skills or topics. Here you can see that kind of gentle approach. This is all about developing ideas. There's no mention of proper spelling or punctuation or grammar. Here's the concept of using a web to organize details, along with some exercises. So there's an answer key that goes with this, and I think the answer key is around $6. The answer key, personally, I don't know how necessary it would be, but that said, I actually didn't purchase it. So, you know, I think that the website said that there was some additional extension ideas and like individual lesson ideas. But I've been able to kind of imagine how this could fit into our homeschool without the use of that additional teacher's manual. So here we're getting into capitals and punctuation. And again, this is towards the end of the book. This is page 84. And just to show you, there's 140 pages in this book 1. And I wanted to show you the table of contents. Getting started, writing a story. Again, that emphasis on developing ideas, you know, the narrative approach before you get into the more technical components of writing. Capitals and basic punctuation, using your senses, moving into the paragraph level, telling more, word choice, and then your editing and publishing. Okay, that's book 1. Again, this is meant for grades 2 or 3, depending on when you want to start. This book 2 is meant for grades 3 and 4. Yeah, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. This one's meant for 3 and 4. There are 165 pages. This includes a glossary. Let me show you the table of contents. Working with sentences. This is a great review of sentences. If if your child's a little bit older and you don't want to start with book one, you could jump into this, and I think you would feel good about the review here. Moving into the paragraph level, working with words. This includes overused words. In our homeschool, we call them trash words because there's, they should be put in the trash, and you can use much more descriptive and novel words. Writing a story. So again, that emphasis on the story. And then editing and publishing resource materials. So you can see that the editing and publishing is always appropriately treated towards the end. This is modeling the approach to writing, the different steps. So chapter 1, you can see that same kind of friendly, approachable text that's meant as directions for the student, followed by your practice pages. There's these cute little illustrations throughout, and you have your exercises. Here's some sample text. Making corrections. What is a sentence? Again, this beginning section in book 2 is a kind of a condensed version of book 1. Sentences versus fragments, a little bit of, writing revolution if you use that in your, your content writing approach, like science and history. You'll see some overlap here. Working with describing words. This one's, book 2 is a little bit longer than book 1. Definitely plenty in here to cover like a full year of writing instruction. And book 3 is the slimmest of all of the books. This is meant for grades 4 and 5. There's 88 pages. And in this one, you're really being introduced to forms of writing beyond the narrative. So you do start with narrative. You move into descriptive, expository, and persuasive or opinion writing. The idea here is that we are introducing these and covering them to set the child up for middle school writing. Resource materials, kind of like an appendix. There's an introduction. I don't think I showed the introduction in the other two. And honestly, again, this is written for the student. So chapter 1 on narrative writing. You can see that same setup. Here's a sample piece of writing, a fictional story. You have that same teaching portion written to the student, practice, and then your exercise. I was just doing this because I know that some people are comment on the page weight. This is like it's like a thinner page. If you had a student who wrote in pencil and was a fan of the eraser, you might kind of tear through this. Okay, so again, these 3 books comprise the entire Just Right program. I think that this is an excellent approach to writing instruction. This will really carry you through your elementary school years. There's a separate answer key that you could purchase that I think, again, is around $6 on Rainbow Resource. You can get copies of these books on Amazon, I think in the $11 to $12 range. Maybe it's a little bit more, but I'll link them below. You can get used copies, but as I say in all my videos, if you are purchasing used copies, I always like to make sure that there is no writing and that there was no writing. Sometimes people will sell a used copy of a workbook and say, oh, well, there was pencil writing, but we erased it. But we all know that if there's pencil writing here, 98% of kids are just going to look to see what the other student who had this workbook before them wrote and, the fact that it was erased. So please do check this out. Let me know down below if you have any questions. If you like this sort of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have other curriculum that you'd like for me to review, please let me know. I have, quite frankly, so much curriculum here that I'm trying to share with you. I'm making videos, as much as I can because I like curriculum. I enjoy looking through it. I enjoy using it, and I feel like sometimes you need to have something in hand, or you need to have a good flip through and a good review like this sort of video to sort of determine if this is going to be a good investment for your